Hey everyone, and welcome back to the city, which is quite noisy at the moment because we've got a lot of the motors running. We've got an awful lot done since the last update, but not enough, to be honest. We really would like to have had more. As you can see, the roller coaster from the last update is working away nicely there. We do have a little issue with it, and I'll go in there now and explain what it is. But we've got the motors running for the Ferris wheel and the mixer there beside it, and I think the fairground in total in this layout looks an awful lot better than it did. We really like the large roller coaster there in the corner. It sort of sets everything off. So we've got that coming around here. I'll actually turn off some of the motors here so we can hear ourselves think a little bit. If I get that one right, that's that one. And then the one for the trains is, I have to make sure the trains aren't, yeah, that's fine. So there we go. That's all the motors off so we can actually hear ourselves think. Apologies for the, I don't think the video is bright enough, but I'm going to work on some lights this year. But anyway, here we are. We have what we have, and we'll work on that. So anybody that's seen the update so far will know that the treehouse was not there. It wasn't in the fairground, and it wasn't in that area. It was over here in the corner, and we had the Sanderson sisters cottage, we had the A-frame cabin, etc. over there in the corner of the room. We've changed that around completely. We've moved the treehouse into the fairground. We've got the carousel here in front of it. We're kind of happy with the layout of the fairground as it is, and we've got enough space here. We should have enough space for one ride here in between the carousel and the red coaster. And then the Disney Castle will be in front of the fairground there. And we really like how that sort of looks from this vantage point. We've got the haunted house also put up on the upper level for the fairground. And we're going to make our fairground entrance between the Sick Complex Tower and the haunted house there. So that's what we've got done since the last update. Well, we've got more than that done. Big changes on this end of the room are, as I said, the cottage and the A-frame cabin coming down here. But the railway track used to run along this base plate here. What we're doing is we've actually added on two straights onto each curve at the end, onto the oval, to bring the railway track further out. Now we've got a problem here because I need to make that connection, and it's under the fairground. So that's going to be fun. But when we do that, the plan is to have that railway track linking up this one and have a bridge out in front of the cottage area. And what we're going to be doing is putting the blacksmith's forge in there. So yeah, the medieval blacksmith's going to be going in the middle. And maybe then if there's another set similar to it, we can get that in there as well. We're going to have a small tunnel entrance here, and that's going to bring it out to a road in front of these buildings here. So that's the plan for this end of the city, and we're really looking forward to getting stuck in and getting that to fruition if we can. But the reason why we moved everything over here is we've got Gringotts. Now we've only got the upper part of Gringotts. We don't have the underneath, and we're going to continue on our Diagon Alley sort of theme and that sort of building sort of aesthetic, and we're going to bring it all the way down the back wall here, build more retaining walls, and put Gringotts in the corner over there. Now the plan was to put Gringotts in the corner and put the Avengers Tower to the right hand side of Gringotts, to the left hand side of the fire station, of the firehouse. But Kev was here yesterday, and he suggested taking out where I had my cafe corner sort of mock build and getting the Avengers Tower in there. Now it's only sat in there. We haven't tiled anything around it or anything like that at all. But we love where it is. We think it's excellent. And it doesn't take away, it doesn't block the view of anything behind it. I can walk all the way around it, and it looks really, really well there. One of the issues that I had with the Avengers Tower was when we built it, and I'm not going to move it while I'm holding the camera, but anybody that's familiar with it, and you can see the pictures online, the slopes here doesn't really lend itself well to connecting to another building or that. And it looks a bit odd, I think. But when you put it into the steps here in front of it, that I still have to tile, it looks pretty good. And you can't see those slopes. And we are absolutely thrilled with that. So, yeah, that's the Avengers Tower installed. And where it is in the city, and it was just, it just worked out that way. But it's right beside Doctor Strange's house there, which is the I Can't Remember, and Marvel fans are going to kill me and crucify me. It'll come to me. But it's the multiverse of madness. I'm in the universe that we can't remember the names of the buildings in. That's also old age. And here we have the museum. So we got the museum for Christmas, along with other stuff, as you can see. Thrilled with that. We're going to put the museum in maybe just where this road comes up and around, and the museum faces straight onto it. So yeah, Sanctum Sanctorium, that's it. That's Sanctum Sanctorum even. All right, Marvel fans, I did remember, thankfully, and I am a Marvel fan. But anyway, here's the museum. We haven't got it set in yet at all. We haven't done anything with it as such. We just built it. We really enjoyed the build. We loved doing it. And we loved Gringotts as well. It's fantastic. It's a great build. And we're looking forward to getting them in there. And that'll leave us with enough room for a whole row of modulars along the back here. And it'll tie in nicely with the museum. We still are going headstrong with our Grand Emporium idea. And we don't know where our cafe corner is going to be. But it's going to be here, maybe. We might put it against the Avengers Tower, and we might put the Palace Cinema there. We might put the bank down there in front of Gringotts, make it the financial district. We don't know yet. We're gonna play around with it and see how it works out. If I pan around here though, one of the other builds that we got in is the Concorde, and yeah, really loving that. It was an excellent build. Absolutely loved it now, to be honest with you. And it was the first thing I built actually after Christmas. And we really like the look of it there. We've got it hanging. You can barely see, I think, where it's hanging off. We've got it hanging off some fishing line. And that makes it really inconspicuous, I suppose, the hanging. You can see it there in the light. What little light there is in this room. So we haven't done anything else down this end. It's a bit of there's lots of junk around. But we've got all these other planes and helicopters and that to actually hang up as well. And we're going to do that with thread, not fishing line. They're not that heavy. So thumbtacks and thread, we'll get them onto the ceiling. And then we have nothing else done with the Ninjago area of the city. We have the city markets ready to go, but we haven't had a chance to get them in there yet or do anything with. And of course, the big plan is the monorail between the Ninjago area of the city and the rest of the city. But that's pretty much all we've done, I think, update wise since the last video. We have a couple more vehicles. We got a couple more police cars. We got the fruit and veg van, if you can see it in there. Loving it. The Christmas tree is still there from Christmas time. We had that into the we were going to install that into instead of the fountain there in Assembly Square, and we might make up something that we can do that and just sort of swap it out next year and put it in, and I think it would be a nice feature there. So other than that, our VMS signs are still working. You can see the flickering there, the LEDs, and yeah, they look really cool at the entrance to the city port. Other than that, down here we've got an extra fireboat added in, and the fireboat is there with another smaller fireboat. They're obviously there must be an awful lot of fires going on in this city on sea. Maybe there's an oil rig or something around the corner, but we'll get to that maybe at some stage. And then we've got the Daily Bugle here, of course, with the modified signage. And yeah, that's it. Our mountain has not changed. Our Yeti is still installed. There he is up there. And yeah, is there anything else I wonder now, just before we close off or sign off? The castle is still there for this year. We've removed, I think, if anybody is familiar with the last video that we did, the last tour, what we've done is we've removed the Home Alone house from the city itself. We've put it up there on the shelf, because it's a monster and it takes up too much room in the city. And as you can see, if I just do a slow pan around, the city is getting fairly full. So much so that I'm being given out to that it's a bit too cluttered. So I don't know how to declutter it and still fit in everything that I want to. And that's the problem. But yeah, we're getting there. It's looking quite well now, I think. If we pan all the way around here, and then Ninjago land, or the Ninjago area of the city, or Ninjago land, whatever we're going to call it, that's going to be here. So that's going to be pretty cool. And other than that, guys, there's no major updates since the last time. Well, bar that Avengers Tower. That's a pretty good update. So before I sign off, I suppose this time around, we're going to we will run the coaster again, and we'll run the train and see if they all work. See if they're still working.